That's the definition of a volume shooter. And I like Donovan Mitchell. And in retrospect, Ben Simmons has made me really regret any support I gave Ben Simmons for winning the Rookie of the Year award the year he was up against Donovan Mitchell. The year Donovan Mitchell wore the hoodie that said rookie and then the definition on it, if you remember. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, you are the real rookie for that season. Let me just applaud you for that. Let me rescind any comment I made to the contrary in support of Ben Simmons and say, Donovan Mitchell, you're the Rookie of the Year that year. But while I'm talking about him, I would love to see him in a Sixers uniform, and I know the numbers are great. And I think he could adapt to playing with Joel Embiid, and I think he could adapt to playing with a more offensively dominant center than he has ever played for. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year many times over, no longer there, obviously. He said going to Minnesota, he's there to bring them a championship. Good luck to you there, Rudy. But when it comes to Donovan Mitchell in the Sixers uniform right now, it would be a huge adjustment for him to get away from that volume scoring, that volume shooting, and also controlling the ball as much as he does, by the way, with Utah. I love the numbers. I just don't think it's a great fit in Philadelphia. My knee-jerk reaction to him being available again yesterday when that story came out was this. Wow. If he's only 25 now, 26 when the season starts, and he's scoring 25, 26 points per game, is that not exactly what I want from Tyrese Maxey in this upcoming year? And I think as most people will acknowledge, along with first, yes, how much they love Tyrese Maxey, and I love him too. As much as people will acknowledge that, are they being honest with themselves and thinking that he is going to take the same size leap forward that he did from last year, or excuse me, from 2 years ago to this past season? Because that's going to be really hard to do because he had so much more room for growth. He had so much more room to go from a bench player to a starter. That's a huge opportunity. To go from starter to possibly all-star level play, at least all-star caliber play, that's going to be very difficult for Tyrese Maxey to do. And I love Tyrese Maxey. I got all the confidence in the world that he's going to be an all-star one day in the NBA. I just don't know if that leap is next year. I hope it is. So numbers-wise, you look at it and you go, wow, Donovan Mitchell, you want Tyrese Maxey, you want that guy that's going to come in here and without question be that second scorer right behind Joel Embiid and competing for maybe even the team lead in points per game. But when you think about it, you've had Rudy Gobert as your number 2 scorer for the last couple of years. You're having a guy in Donovan Mitchell score 25, 26 points per game, and the next guy is scoring 15. That ain't going to be the case on the 76ers. That's going to be Joel Embiid with a guy like Donovan Mitchell, maybe 28 to 30 points a game, and then Donovan Mitchell right there at 25, 26 points per game. But with all the shots that he's going to be taking, maybe Joel Embiid's taking a hit, maybe Donovan Mitchell's taking more of a hit, maybe he is playing more of the facilitator that he would be here in Philadelphia than he would be out there in Utah. I think it's too much of a shoehorn move to make. After considering all that I just laid out in front of you, I feel like it would just be shoehorning him in to this team. And I think it would be too much getting away from what you have already built in Philadelphia, which is everything around Joel Embiid. If Maxey can take that step forward, not even that huge step forward where he's scoring 25, 26 points per game, anything like that, just to give it a number. But if Maxey can take a little bit of a step forward and from game 1 of the season be as good as he was in the second half of last season, then I think this team is going to be okay. Because that's what they're banking this whole offseason on. Yeah, get some toughness with P.J. Tucker, improve the bench. That's exactly what we needed. And they've done that. And maybe Paul Reed gets better as a backup center to Joel Embiid. But as this season goes on, I need to see that improvement exponentially as time goes on. Yeah, it seems like trading for Donovan Mitchell, and make no mistake about it, it's Tyrese Maxey, that's Tobias Harris, that's Matisse Thybulle. That's a bit of a change to this team. As much as it looks like on paper and maybe in playing 2K, it's a perfect fit, and it's perfect to guarantee the expedited growth of that player in a lineup. But in instance, saying from Tyrese Maxey might take another year to get to that level again and be that perfect fit with Joel Embiid because that's all he has known in his career. Waiting for Tyrese Maxey to take that leap as opposed to grabbing Donovan Mitchell right now and inserting him in this lineup looks good on paper. But the problem I have is when you talk about that volume shooting, And you talk about him being the focal point of an offense. I don't know if he can make that transition still now in the prime of his career. I actually have more confidence that James Harden can be that transition, can go through that transition a lot faster than a guy like Donovan Mitchell can, because James Harden's 33 years old. And James Harden has, I think, no other choice but to find a way to take his game to a different level. To a